In the ancient world, festivals were common expressions of religious belief and religiosity. While it was focused on the military, the famous city-state of Sparta had its own fascinating festivals involving musical instruments, animal sacrifices, and naked dancing. In this video, we will be talking about Sparta's most important festivals, the Hyakinthia, the Gymnopaedia, and the Carnea. This is Spartan religious festivals with all things history. The first religious festival we're going to talk about is the Hyakinthia, which was a 3-day festival taking place in Amyclae, which was a city of ancient Laconia, the Spartan region, situated on the western bank of the Eurotas River. The first day was dedicated to mourning the death of the hero, Hyakinthus, and Greek legend has it that the beauty of Hyakinthus attracted the love of Apollo, who then accidentally killed him while teaching him to throw the discus. During the first day of the festival, sacrifices were offered to the dead, and banquets were stark and without decoration. The sacrificial breads were, in fact, very plain, and it was a very dull and solemn moment. The second day of the Hyakinthia was one of celebration for the hero's rebirth. Young people would play the kithara and the aulos, 2 ancient Greek instruments, and sang the song The Glory of Apollo. Others were even participating in horse races with parades of carts decorated by girls and the women of Sparta. There were numerous sacrifices of goats too. Interestingly enough, the helots, which were the slaves of Sparta, had the right to participate in the celebrations, despite Spartans always fearing helot revolts. Foreigners were also welcome to celebrate, and we know this because the famous Athenaus says that the Spartans treat not only their countrymen but any foreigners who happen by. So, foreigners were very much part of this festival and the celebration of the hero. The third day of the Hyakinthia was a lot more solemn than the second. The women wove a chiton, which is a form of tunic that is fastened at the shoulder, which was then offered to the god. The Spartans, the most militaristic ancient Greek city-state, was even willing to halt their campaigns to participate in the festival. Thucydides, the Greek historian who accounts for the Peloponnesian War between Athens and Sparta, tells us that following the Peace of Nicias, which ended the first half of the Peloponnesian War, the Athenians promised the Spartans to assist with the celebrations of the Hyakinthia in Laconia, and at the end a song was sung by Apollo by the Spartan men. So it goes to show that even the Athenians, a rival city-state, highly respected this festival and respected the Spartan determination to complete the festivities. This brings us to the second famous festival of Sparta, and that's the Gymnopaedia. Now, this actually means the festival of naked dancing, which lasted for 5 days, and it was critical for Spartan identity. In this festival, there were competitions between choirs and also competitions in drama and dance. Choruses of old men competed against choirs of young men, and this only happened during the Gymnopaedia in the entire Greek world. There were 3 choruses, one each of old men, men in their prime, and also young boys. Men in their prime were challenging their elders, and the boys, who represent the rising Spartan generation, were boasting that one day they will surpass their parents and grandparents. In essence, there was a sense of localized nationalism that the Gymnopaedia was bringing alive, and as the famous geographer says, Pausanias, it was the most important festival for the Spartans. When a messenger returned to Sparta to tell them that they had been demolished at the Battle of Leuctra in 371 BC, the ephors, the Spartan elders, decided to let the chorus of men continue their competition. The Gymnopaedia was also seen as a public endurance test because it was held during the sweltering Greek summer. The last of the most important Spartan festivals was the Carnea. The festival was celebrated in honor of Apollo Carneos, meaning Ram Apollo. It was a musical contest that was organized by randomly selected unmarried young men. The festival involved a chase where the grape cluster runners would chase a runner wearing sacrificial ribbons. According to Spartan tradition, the city would be blessed with good luck if they caught him, and a bad omen would be on the society if they had failed. Now, there is some evidence to suggest that the omens from the Carnea could affect the quality of produce and crops from the years to come. In the second part of the festival, 9 tents were set up in the country, and each of which 9 citizens, representing their respective tribes, feasted together in honor of the god Apollo. But that brings us to the end of this video on Spartan festivals. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to like, leave a comment, and subscribe. It really helps me out.